Somebody has decided to pull the trigger on Russell Brand, the rogue British comedian and iconoclast whose well-documented promiscuous past is now under the media microscope. Allegations of sexually predatory behaviour, including with one underage girl, are now fodder for newspapers and TV stations around the world. And Brand's brand, so to speak, looks to have been almost fatally damaged. If only Brand had committed these alleged acts in the company of the late pedophile ringmaster Jeffrey Epstein. He might be enjoying the same immunity from media scrutiny that Epstein's associates do, despite some of them being far more famous and influential. This is shaping up to be one of the media's biggest cancellations yet. And as with all things in the media these days, don't ask if it's true, just ask why you are being told this now. Whose purpose does this serve? Since giving up his 4 former vices, drugs, booze, random sex and working for the mainstream media, Brand has built an enormous, relatively independent empire. He has 11 million followers on Twitter, 6 million on Facebook, 6.6 million on YouTube and another million on Rumble. And he recently had a triumphant trip to the United States where he said this on the Bill Maher Show.
John, I've not known you long, but I love you already. But I have to say that it's disingenuous to claim that the biases that are exhibited on Fox News are any different from the biases exhibited on MSNBC. It's difficult to suggest that these corporations operate as anything other than mouthpieces for their affiliate owners in BlackRock and Vanguard. I've been on that MSNBC, mate. It was propagandist nutcrackery on there. I went on a show called Morning Joe. It was absurd the way they carried on.
Morning Joe.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what it was. It wasn't morning. There was no one called Joe there. No one could concentrate. They didn't understand the basic tenets of journalism. No one was willing to stick up for genuine American heroes like Edward Snowden. No one was willing to talk about Julian Assange and what he suffered trying to bring real journalism to the American people.
That's not all he said. Brand is fundamentally sceptical about the COVID virus, vaccines, and the supposed virtues of the war in Ukraine. He supports Donald Trump and regularly meditates on his show to help people achieve what he calls wellness. Whether it works or not is beside the point. The fact is that his contrarian view to Big Pharma is reaching millions of people. And the elites don't want that. Do you get the same feeling I do about this Russell Brand cancellation? That it is a formulaic strategy designed to eliminate opponents of the ruling elite? If so, it might just backfire this time. Brand is openly reformed from his troubled past. He is one of the world's leading advocates for clean living. This year, he celebrated 20 years of sobriety. His message is extraordinarily eclectic. His support of Trump and individualism appeals to conservatives, and his secular spirituality ticks boxes for lots of lefties. On top of that, he's easy to like, which you can attribute to his comedic skills and childlike enthusiasm. There's a good chance that this time the media's strategy will backfire. Whatever damage is inflicted on Brand, the self-inflicted damage on the malicious media could be worse. It's not as if the mainstream media has much credibility to start with, given that most people have still not forgotten the way it propagandised the COVID narrative for the benefit of Big Pharma at the expense of ordinary people. It goes without saying that if there are any criminal accusations to be made against Brand, they should be made in a court, not in a newspaper. Brittany Higgins took her allegations to the media first, and we know how that turned out. With any luck, this time the blowback will be on the messenger as well.